Hi, my name is Mohammed Sarwar Saqibi and welcome to our CWTC Get Connected Community Podcast to share experiences and promote services and networking and great opportunities available for residents of Oldham. Loneliness is a pervasive issue affecting millions worldwide with profound implications for mental and physical health. Today, we will look into the multifaceted nature of loneliness and particularly for young people, its root causes and actionable strategies to combat it. To help us understand better about the subject, we have invited to our CWTC podcast studio the team leader, Lauren Thompson from the Princess Trust.
Hi.
Lauren, welcome.
Thank you very much for having me.
How are you on a lovely, warm morning?
I'm not doing too bad, thank you. I'm excited to be here to talk about loneliness affecting young people and strategies that we can do to help improve.
Great, and we need all the good guidance and information to help us through. So tell us about your career, your work at the moment with the Princess Trust.
So I started working for the Princess Trust when I was 18. So it's kind of like the first job that I had, the first career that I had. And it stemmed from me doing the programme myself, and I was a young person facing loneliness.
Sure.
I was a young person that had my mental health and well-being impacted, and then I joined the Princess Trust team programme. I got about halfway through and I was a completely different person to who I was when I started, and I kind of just became a part of the furniture. I was like, you guys have helped me so much, I want to now do that for other young people. So I've been there for nine years now.
Brilliant.
I did take a 2-year break during COVID where I went to in residential care. I moved into residential care. But then when COVID ended, I came back to groundwork and I came back to Princess Trust because it genuinely does feel like home.
Brilliant. Expert by experience.
Yeah.
And you've done extremely well, Laura.
Thank you.
Well done. So, knowing some of the issues that you personally went through, what are the main causes of loneliness, particularly with young people?
So I think it was always an issue in the first place, but I think COVID has actually played a massive part in affecting people's mental health, well-being, and the fact that they are facing loneliness.
Yes.
I don't think we would have actually seen it in the first year or so because everyone was just so excited to just get back outside and not be like locked inside. But the young people have missed out on about a year of the social side. Yes, they've missed out on the education, which is important, but so is the interacting with people of their own age, interacting with professionals, interacting with teachers and the other students. And that is the side that we're really seeing now, like 2-3 years later, is the people aren't connecting with each other anymore because they've missed out on that.
So do you think, part of the COVID, we had social media taking over with many aspects of your time, your life? Do you think that's impacted a lot on you?
I think there's two sides of social media. I think there is the side that helps people fight loneliness because they're able to join groups and online clubs that are filled with people of the similar mind and like mind. But then there's the total flip side where people end up sitting on social media and comparing their lives to other people. They kind of become more withdrawn, and the friendships and friends that are within the local community or within the local circle. It might be across the country, it might be in other countries. So they might have an online presence, they might have social to do online, but when it comes to going to school, going to college, doing other things in the real world, so to speak, they don't really have anyone there because their entire social lives are on social media, which can have a massive impact as well.
There is not that face-to-face confidence.
And then there's also the comparing, my life isn't as good as their life, why can't my life be like that? And we all know that social media isn't an accurate representation of someone's life, so it's not really all what it looks like.
There's like sort of comparison and superficial interactions.
And then you've got the famous people, celebrities, and the Photoshop and all of that kind of stuff that plays a massive impact as well.
Okay, so when we come down to young people actually struggling with things. What are the signs that you can notice when that occurs?
They kind of become withdrawn. They have a lack of interest in doing things they might have used to love to do. Friendships might break down. They might talk very much about not being able to make friends or not having any friends. They might, again, be very active on social media but don't have like a real world presence where it's face to face. Low self-esteem and low confidence, not really having a plan for their next step or what they're going to go into, or kind of things like that.
Do you think academically they suffer a lot?
Yeah, I think sometimes young people get so focused on friendships and potential bullying situations that they're distracted from their academics and their education, and they're not really focused on the learning that's taking place, so they miss out on that as well, which then impacts on achieving grades and all that kind of stuff too.
And I think it's also about the society, the environment itself that affects people, which can lend to some of those issues. What about parents and teachers? How can they help noticing these things?
Do the research. There's so much available around young people and the mental health. These days, I think it's swings and roundabouts. For a while there wasn't really a lot of attention on it, but now we're seeing a lot more attention on it. Do the research, look at the warning signs. I think what parents struggle with is there's a lack of funding. I remember when I was 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 years old, and there were so many community centres I could go to, so many youth clubs I could go to, so many extracurriculars,
so many resources available.
Obviously we don't have the funding for that anymore,
and youth music or youth services is one.
Everything's shut down, and it's now places like the Centre of Wellbeing Training and Culture, places like Groundwork, Prince's Trust, that are charity led and charity funded, and they're still available and they're still out there. It's just, one, not as promoted as your formal kind of routes, and two, it's not as well known because it's not as heavily funded as things that used to be around.
There's a lot more awareness and engagement. And just on that, as I was mentioning earlier, we've been asked by Oldham Council, one of the departments, to help and develop children and young people's mental health and well-being strategy, and a working group.
It's needed.
And it would be great to have you spoken.
Yeah, no, I'd absolutely love to be a part of that. But it's like, we've got Madlow, which is huge,
brilliant,
and amazing and brilliant, but not everyone might be into the activities that they provide at Madlow. So there is alternatives, like, for example, Groundwork. I'm going to know a lot about Groundwork because that's the company that I work for, but we have the West Garton Community Hub, we have the Garton Youth Zone, Charlton weekly youth clubs, so we have like a lot of stuff going on in and around the Manchester Centre. But unless you're getting on our website or following us on Facebook, nowhere else is promoting it.
And with respect, this is where the networking and joint collaboration is important.
Absolutely.
We can't do everything.
For sure.
So it's the goodness we have in between us that can have a choice for young people and enjoy their career, their social activities, etc.
That's a note that I've made as well, like parents and teachers need to communicate with each other more, because a parent will have one bit of the puzzle piece, the teacher might have another bit of the puzzle piece. Organisations like us have the other puzzle pieces. If we all can communicate and talk to each other about one individual, we're all going to be singing from the same hymn sheet and supporting that same person.
And I think it will have a less strain, both in terms of capacity and sharing information and resources,
like you said,
and help the individual to do better.
For sure.
Brilliant. In terms of the different activities that we talked about, young people doing, what can you suggest that people can take part to help them?
We all know it's like really, really heavily pushed that being in the environment, being in the nature and fresh air,
yes.
all of that kind of stuff does wonders for your mental health and well-being. Doesn't really tackle loneliness unless you join things like a walking group or stuff like that. But extracurricular activities are so important, because it's a chance for young people to get together with other young people that are interested and have the same interests as them.
And also with the peers as well.
And with the peers, and it's about, we talk a lot as professionals about networking, but it's so important for young people to do that within their own social circles as well. Yeah. It's how mutual friends introduce you to other friendship groups, and it's how you expand your social network and your circle. But if there's nothing for them to do, if there's nothing for them to go out and take part in, they're just going to stay inside all the time, and they're going to stay isolated.
They got to come to places or activities where they have a sense of belonging and feel safe.
Absolutely.
And confident in the environment.
Yeah. And it's just knowing about where to look for those things.
And in building that relationship with people, friendships, or with the professionals or community centres, organisations like yours. What is the process? How can they do that? What would you suggest?
So, leading by example is a huge thing. Young people model after their role models. They model after the adults in the life, after the professionals in the life. So before they even do anything, we need to look at ourselves and think about what we're doing. Are we promoting positive relationships, positive friendships? Or are we promoting negative and toxic things that might be spiking red flags in the back of young people's minds? If they're on watching TV a lot or on social media that's quite negative, then they're going to take that and think, I'll be like that because that's what I've witnessed, that's what I've seen, that's what I've experienced, so that's how we play life. And it really isn't. So building meaningful friendships, relationships, that kind of stuff is heavily down to us as the adults in that young person's lives, and the way we are being either with them or with other adults and professionals. Young people themselves can build positive and meaningful relationships by limiting, and it's a lot easier said than done, but limiting the negative influences in their lives.
I think sometimes because when we talk about young people, we forget the fact that some of these young people are very talented, very knowledgeable. They might not have the academic feel to things or approach to things, but they have a very mature sense in many ways. And it's discovering that, bringing it to the forefront, and supporting them that they can be part of this society, play a bigger role, a leading role themselves.
Absolutely. Because it's not just about your academic intelligence at all. Some people work better when they're, listening to music. Some people focus better when they're listening to music. Some people like producing music, making music.
I mean, we do lots of work placements, as you know. And one of our case study is Adam, who were brought in on an emergency. I remember where you needed some support for work placement. And within a week I said, I think we've got a job on offer, and he's working with us. So that's great. You know what I mean?
And it's led to further opportunities for not only Adam but for me and for yourself as well, to just be working together to support the same people.
And we're doing more workshops.
Absolutely.
That's the way to do it. So Lauren, in terms of strategies that we can use to get the young people to feel connected, what would you suggest?
So there's a bit of a model that I use called safe zone, stretch zone, danger zone. Now, not all, but a lot of young people, their safe zone is their homes and their bedrooms, and it's about getting them into the stretch zone. We don't want any young person to be in the danger zone, but we absolutely want them in the stretch zone, because that's where people develop and progress the most.
Have a go,
So the stretch zone is that perfect balance. So try and stretch yourself to do something new. Try something new. Maybe say hello to someone that you've not spoken to in a while.
Simple as that.
Just as simple as that. You know, just think to yourself, you potentially have everything to gain and nothing to lose. But that is on an individual basis. So like everyone's danger and stretch zone is going to be different. So someone's danger zone could be going to the shop and speaking to the shopkeeper, whereas that may be somebody else's stretch zone. So it swings and roundabouts, and it's about learning more about yourself, really taking a look at that and thinking, where's my stretch zone? What can I push myself to do a little bit just to get out there and put myself
using
out
that
there.
model, you can go into volunteering, go into social settings.
You know, there's a lot of community groups that need help and support. There's a lot of places in Oldham, like food banks. If you're quite passionate about something, if you're passionate about helping the homeless or helping people facing poverty, link up with your local food bank.
By the way, through Greg's Foundation, on Tuesday, Thursday and Saturday at about 4:30 to 5:30, we provide some foods at CWTC.
Oh, that's amazing. We used to have a link with the co-op doing something similar. We'd go and pick up all the food up in the mornings and then put it on for the young people. So even like stuff like that, like your local charity shop or
libraries. You can go to libraries.
Yeah,
wonderful
libraries,
atmosphere. Lots of activities happening at Oldham, for
Absolutely.
example.
Go to like Oldham Library or your local library. If you're just going to sit there with a book, at least it's getting you out your house a little bit. And you never know, you might meet someone who's reading the same or a similar book, and they might decide to pick up a conversation with you.
Yeah. So in terms of say regular daily routines that can do when they get out of bed, what do you think the things they can do?
So first off, I think young people need to stop putting pressure on themselves. We're living in a world of instant gratification. We've got social media. Gone are the days of sending letters where you have to wait a week or 2 weeks to get a response.
It's instant now.
It's instant now. So I think young people are putting so much pressure on themselves to turn it around overnight, and that is not going to happen. So they need to take a step back and think, it isn't. I'm not going to get that instant gratification from this, but I might be able to see a change in the long run.
Have a positive outlook.
Yeah.
Have a bit of exercise, for example, in the morning.
Yeah, a bit of exercise, going for a walk. I mean, I don't exercise. I can't run if I had to run to save my life, I wouldn't be able to.
You don't have to run. Nice walk.
But a walk, I started off going for daily walks, and that did me so much good.
Excellent.
And now this one might sound like really quite cheesy, but if you've got like body issues or low self-esteem surrounding that, you don't like the way your belly looks or whatever, thank your belly for supporting you. You know, it might sound really, really silly, but your intestines have done the job for the day, so thank your intestines for functioning and for working.
Great.
Because if you're taking away the attention of how you physically look and putting it more on what the function of it is, and you're thanking it and you've been like, you've done a good job today, you've processed all the food that I've eaten, then you start to build more of a positive outlook on it instead of focusing on the negative that you see.
Just be thankful. Thank God you're breathing.
Yeah. Thank God my legs have got me to where I need to be today.
Brilliant.
You know, but I might not like the look of them, but at least they've done the job and what they need to do. Other things
even like meditation.
Just
5 minutes, just reflect on yourself.
I've got a colleague that's currently teaching me how to meditate.
Excellent.
Another thing is post-it notes. Stick post-it notes with positive affirmations on to things that you look at all the time. If you like look at a mirror before you go out and stick it on the mirror. If you play video games and you've got a computer screen, stick it on your computer screen. Just something positive to remind yourself every single day instead of having the negative things going on in your head all the time.
And it's not a pressure.
No.
Enjoy.
Yeah.
Enjoy the day, enjoy the moments, really. To move on in terms of the community resources that can be available, I know Princess Church of Groundworks has tremendous, activities, resources available. You could do with more.
Yeah.
It's an ongoing
Everyone
thing.
could do with more always.
What would you suggest? Where can people go?
So there's your standard places like Mind, Healthy Minds, Tog Mind. Even your walk-in centres will have resources and information to give to you surrounding your mental health, well-being, tackling loneliness. Centre of Wellbeing Training and Culture. You guys do so much around well-being. It's in your name. There's groundwork. There's Prince's Trust, like you said.
The sports clubs as well.
Sports clubs, go to the gym. They've probably got a bunch of stuff going on. A lot of local authorities and local councils these days are very much pushing positive mental health and well-being, so they are introducing more things that are available. So just if you know where to look, just get on Google, get online, do some research. You'll find so much available.
And the Oldham Council website has tremendous amount of contacts and different.
They've got a section available all around health and well-being on the website. Even Facebook, if you know where to look, you can utilise Facebook for so many positive things. If you're a part of the right groups, there's so many like I Love Oldham groups, I Love Royton, Oldham Now and Then. There's so many.
There is so much going on.
So much on Facebook. If you're a part of the right positive community groups and you're using it in the right way, you can get so much information from social media as well.
And I think the important part as peers or organisations, we need to create more awareness of what we do, what we have, and how we can help people as well. And that's never short, is it?
No.
So in terms of, people wanting to reach out to some of those that we mentioned, if they want practical support, say like counselling, for example, which services would you recommend?
There's they've changed a little bit the way that they do things now, and it is a lot easier to self-refer into talking therapies. So there's Oldham talking therapies, there's Tameside talking therapies, and the turnaround for that is really quite quickly. My experience with it is that I referred someone onto it, I sat down with them, did the referral, and they had a text message within 24 hours and they'd been invited in person within a week. Brilliant. Which is an amazing turnaround compared to what we used to knowing about the 6-month long waiting list and stuff like that. And then it's about like getting involved in what's available out there as well. Like for me personally, for Prince's Trust, if you're just interested in finding out more on how we actually do work on people's mental health and well-being, reach out to me. Even if you're not interested in signing up and you just want to find out more, I'm available.
And how can they contact
you? I know some young people don't like making phone calls. I am available on phone. My number's 07850 310 739, and you can either give me a call or drop me a text message. I'm also on email at lauren.thompson, THOMPSON, at groundwork.org.uk, and just drop me an email. And if I don't think, or if you don't think that the Prince's Trust is right for you, I can signpost and point you in the right direction. I have so much knowledge.
What we'll do, we'll on the screen have your contact available so people can contact you.
But even if you're still in school, go to your local school, ask them to do something about mental health and well-being. Make it a day for all students to participate in. And that might seem like a bit out of your way, but the school would absolutely, more than likely, be more than willing to put on a day like that for you if they haven't already got one planned.
Excellent.
So it's
like I mentioned earlier on, we're also developing that strategy with the council and with organisations like yours, and hopefully that will be another drop in the ocean to help people. Lauren, would you like to add anything else that we possibly have missed?
I'd just like to thank you for thinking about me when doing this and inviting me down to do this. If you know where to look, you can find the right support for you. You just need to know who to go to and know where to look. And if you don't know, you can come to me, you can come to Mohammed, and if we're not the right people to support you, we can absolutely signpost and send you to, or give you information of places that you might feel benefit from as well.
Lauren, thank you very much for coming to the studio and making time available, and hopefully this information and guidance will help young people to achieve and to have a positive outlook and your other future. So help us to help you, vice versa. and hope to see you very soon. Do take care. Bye-bye.